Hey guys, this is Chris Nappoltz.
And this is David. We are
Drop Disgusta.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we are powered by Amplified Events. To learn more about the great work they do, visit ampyourevent.com.
We would also like to thank and welcome our digital marketer, Aaron Talent.
If you're a fan of the show, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Drop Disgusta Podcast.
And whatever you're doing this week, make sure you hashtag drop the dis.
Here's the show.
Before we start today, we would like to thank our title sponsor, the Augusta Sports Council. The Augusta Sports Council is proud to welcome the Ironman to Augusta for the 11th year. Over 3,500 athletes will be competing in one of North America's largest half Ironman triathlons on Sunday, September 29th. Their day will start with a 1.2-mile swim in the beautiful Savannah River, a 56-mile bike ride through scenic South Augusta, and finally will end with a 13.1-mile run through downtown Augusta. In 2018, the Ironman 70.3 Augusta event brought in an estimated economic impact of $4.813 million, with over $133,000 in impact from the Ironman Foundation. If you or your organization would like to be one of the 1,600 plus volunteers for this year's Ironman, please contact their volunteer coordinator, Michelle Naval, at 706-849-3235. The Augusta Sports Council enriches the quality of life and economic well-being for the Augusta metropolitan area by supporting and attracting sports activities, and they've been doing this since 1991. For more information, visit www.augustasportscouncil.org. All right, everybody, welcome to Drop Disgusta. My name is David Bash.
And I am Chris Nappoltz.
And we are coming to you guys from the Westo-Who Art Gallery this week.
It's really nice.
We're very excited.
Really cool.
Very cool. And before we introduce our guest this week, Chris.
Yes.
How was your weekend? What have you been up to?
That was such a natural question.
Right?
It's actually right here.
It's right here in front of me.
Okay, my weekend was awesome. I had a blast.
What'd you do?
We are friends, guys.
It doesn't come across.
What did I do? Friday, I went to an event called Augusta Neat, a little event little group that we're putting together for whiskey tastings. It's not public yet, but people get excited about it.
So look out for the private invitations.
Yes, look out for that invite-only invitation. But then Saturday, we had a similar Saturday, actually.
I think it started about the same for both of us, at the very least.
Around noon, I went to Oktoberfest, and I didn't leave till 5, and I drank beer the whole time.
It was great, and they were serving by the liter.
Yes,
which
we
is
had
a
Stein.
unique experience.
A Stein glass, for those of you that don't know, is 1 liter of fluid.
Which we did not know we knew once they told us, but we did not know before that it was supposed to be a Stein.
So there was a lot of drinking. I participated in 2 events. Just one. No, 2. I did the keg carry, and I also did the Stein hold.
Oh, I did 3 then. And
I'm just going to go ahead and take the win from David, but he beat me in all of them. I don't understand why. It's very frustrating. I still... Last night I was telling Audrey...
He's up late thinking about how I held the Stein for longer.
But I blame the judges. I blame you judges at Savannah River for not being consistent. So, David, how was your weekend?
It was great. I got to beat Chris at every activity that we did, physically based.
You didn't even work out.
So I will now be announcing that I will not be joining a gym this year because clearly I do not need to. Congratulations to Philip Austin. Austin won the Das Boot chugging competition, and he will be on our podcast in October as his reward for that with Zach McCabe.
We did donate a gift, and it did not cost us anything.
No, it was great. It was great for us. It was great for them. Everybody wins.
A guest host. He will not be a guest.
That's true. He's not that interesting.
Yeah, he'll be a guest host.
And we'll also shout out Sean Mooney with Show Pony, because they did the logo.
Oh,
the event.
Yes, they did. It's on the Stein.
It's quite cute.
It is. It's
a little barrel with like stick figure arms and stuff.
And a mustache.
Which is the most important part.
Sean will appreciate that shout out. Yeah. He's very, yes.
All right, and enough about us.
Yes.
So today, we are here with our guest,
Kristi Jilson.
And we just heard you laugh a little bit, but we don't know too much about you aside from what you sound like. So tell us your story, Kristi. What is it you do in Augusta?
I am the executive director of Westo-Who Festival and Westo-Who Gallery. I've been here almost 6 years now. I moved here to be the director of this organization. I went to art school in Savannah. Mm-hmm. I grew up in North Carolina. I was born in upstate New York, but grew up in North Carolina. Went to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. Mm-hmm. I studied metals and jewelry, so I'm technically a metalsmith and goldsmith. Whoa. So I know,
have you
it's
ever
crazy.
Made anything?
Yes,
That's
I
awesome.
have. Yeah.
That's really cool.
We're actually doing a show here at the gallery at the beginning of next year of all of art jewelry. So nothing that I've made, but people that I know that make incredible jewelry. So small plug for that in the future. Yeah, so I worked for SCAD. Well, I opened a gallery, a co-op gallery with some friends in Savannah.
Okay. When was this?
That would have been in 2007.
And that's right after you graduated?
Right after I graduated from college, yep. I was making jewelry then and selling jewelry, and my friends were photographers and jewelers and wood turners and
That's super cool.
all of the cool things in the arts world that you can sell in a gallery space. So we had a co-op. We were all paying our part to keep the co-op gallery up and running, marketing all of it on our own and covering the hours in the gallery and all of that. But I was also waiting tables at the time because making jewelry is really expensive to do. So I was waiting tables and managing a restaurant and didn't want to be in that position for the rest of my life.
Sure.
I
so
liked
you were managing waiting tables and making jewelry and selling jewelry and helping run a co-op.
I was doing all of it. Yeah.
How many hours in a day do you have?
Well, yeah, now I have more than I had then. Well, so I'd like to think. I don't know. Except it's a different management of my time now, I guess. But I was also younger then, and it was okay to like go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 8. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. Now sleep is precious. So
yes, it is.
I couldn't see myself waiting tables. You guys fighting over the mic? You should fight over the mic.
Yeah, well,
Who
I
gets
have a better
more
voice, but
space?
Chris is more needy. So
I am just still upset that he beat me. That's what's happening.
I love that.
I just need my voice to be just a little louder.
He needs to be heard. He's feeling it.
I can't believe I threw the keg farther. Anyways, I'm sorry. We distracted, but
it's okay. It's okay. This is a conversation, right? So it should be fun.
It will be fun. Don't worry about that.
And part of the reason it will be fun is because we are drinking beer.
Yes.
And we were at Savannah River Brewery's Oktoberfest. However, this week we are supporting Riverwatch Brewery.
Yes, they gave us a mixed match of beers, and I've had one of their beers, which is their blonde ale that you're drinking.
Oh, Scenic Overlook. It's
Yes,
very
the Scenic
delicious.
Overlook.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I've had that at Stillwater Tap Room before. I'm drinking a Godfather Stout, and I'm going to talk about the flavors. A milk stout with chocolate and habanero peppers. Now, it's not a thick milk stout that you would think that you would drink. Most milk stouts are very thick, but I am getting acid reflux right now because of habanero peppers. However, it's not spicy, so it's in there.
It's good, but watch out for your stomach is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yes, there's flavor.
I feel like if they remade this one or like did some version, it should be like some reference to making out in a convertible, like Scenic Overlook, and then like convertible high school makeout or something. They should totally have like the strawberry blonde ale should be marketed in a way that...
Can I get a 6-pack of high school makeout?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it would be brilliant.
That's hilarious.
It relates to Scenic Overlook, I feel like. So it's where it all happens.
That reminds me of the movie Anchorman, when they're looking over the city of San Diego.
Yes.
For some reason, that's the first thing. we're way out of Augusta right now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to maybe the 5th Street Bridge, looking over the 5th Street Bridge.
That reminds me of the 5th Street Bridge.
13th Street Bridge.
The Butt Bridge.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
So where were we? We were talking about...
We're talking about you. We're talking about when you were in Savannah, you were running your co-op, you were selling art.
I was doing too much, and I wanted to
calling your name.
Well, not yet. It wasn't calling my name yet. I needed to up my professional game and gain some experience. So I started working for Savannah College of Art and Design. And I started as a recruiter. I was traveling all over the country, visiting high schools, community colleges, universities, every kind of public and private school you can imagine. I mean, I was in it. There were days where I felt like Dangerous Minds, I was in a scene of Dangerous Minds, and then there were days where I was Pleasantville. There was everything and everything in between those two. So anyway, I quickly moved up pretty fast, and in the end, my last position there was to oversee all of the admissions events and programs at the university in their admission department. So, that
sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it was a super fun job. Yeah. We planned all of our open house days, which they called SCAD days, daily tours. And then right there at the end of my time there, it was also summer programs. So things for high school students, rising seniors, elementary school students, continuing education, all sorts of stuff. So a lot of people always ask if I did the fashion show and the film festival, and no, I didn't. Our team occasionally had a part in some of that, but there was well, no, I mean, I worked a lot of hours. I would have worked many more hours, but I liked my job. I liked the parents and the families I got to meet, and sort of hone my skills in event planning there. And anyway, eventually was recruited to come here. Again, like I said, about 6 years ago. I still remember the interview to this day. I drove in from Atlanta because I was living in Atlanta at the time. I had lived there for 2 months because I was looking for another role. I wanted to sort of get out of Savannah and try something new.
Okay.
And went through Snowpocalypse 2014.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't here. I was in Atlanta, straight Snowpocalypse when they were all sitting in cars. I was not. I was binge watching Orange is the New Black and job hunting at the time. But anyway, so I landed here, and I remember driving in and thinking, I remember driving down Broad Street so distinctly, going oh my gosh.
What year was that?
That was in February of 2014. Okay. So it was shortly after the ice storm, shortly after the earthquake. And I just remember driving down Broad Street and thinking, it's so wide. The architecture here is really pretty cool. All I could see was potential. It was oh my gosh. And I knew that this job I was coming to interview for had played such a significant role in any cultural change that could happen in Augusta, or that was happening. And so I could just see it. My perspective sort of shifted, and it was just really cool. So,
and that was here at Westo-Who, the job?
Yeah, the job was for Westo-Who. Yeah, okay. I am here because of Westo-Who. Yeah. So my first year here, I just gathered as much information as I possibly could. I talked to as many people, interviewed as many people as I could. And
same.
Yeah. It was just what is, I wanted to take the temperature of what was going on. How do you feel about your community? How do you feel about Westo-Who Festival? What gaps could we fill in the entertainment and culture sections of Augusta? And I, at the same time, was managing a budget, looking at all these numbers, trying to find the most efficient way to offer programming and offer the citizens of Augusta what they were asking me for, what they wanted. So that's how the gallery came to be. We went through our first festival and then got into the gallery space. And
that's awesome.
It's been nonstop ever since. I feel like there's constantly, right now, I feel 2 weeks until the festival feels like eternity because I just want it to be over from a personal stress level. And then from a professional level, I'm no, wait, give me 2 more weeks. I need 4 weeks, not 2 weeks. Right. I need more time.
Yeah.
So all at the same time, it feels like it should be over, and and it should take longer all at the same time.
So since you've come here since 2014, which is that when you officially like moved in, started working with Westo-Who?
Yeah, 2014. Yeah, I mean, I interviewed in late January, early February, and I was here by the last week of February.
Gotcha.
I had gotten in a cottage.
So basically the whole year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2014 was my first festival that I planned. First Westo-Who festival I planned. It 6 8 months, something like that, to plan the festival.
And for those that don't know about Westo-Who,
yeah.
like aside from the Westo-Who Festival, which I think everyone has at least heard of the Westo-Who Festival.
Yeah, it's so good to hear.
What else does Westo-Who do? Like, we're in an art gallery right now.
Yeah.
So what, it seems like there's a little more to it.
There is. I mean, as I was talking to you guys earlier when I was giving you a tour of the exhibition, the work is not just necessarily to look at. It certainly is, but there's a lot to learn about process, about technique, about other artists, what other regions are doing in terms of the arts, but also just gallery etiquette. Like, how do you act in a space like this? Can you touch work? Can you not touch work? Can you interact with
question.
it? Yeah.
Like
the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Just to make sure, I do know that answer, but you just asked it as if no one would know.
Right.
Well, you would be surprised, though. You would be surprised. There are people that know that you're not supposed to touch and still touch.
Is that a universal rule?
It is. I think
some galleries where they're like, no, you need to touch it to know what I'm thinking.
Well, yes, there are times when the artist invites you to touch their artwork.
So usually there's like a sign.
But I think a gallery docent, which would
usually
be the
a
tour
sign
guide,
that says don't touch it. Still.
Yeah.
I now understand why that question was just stated.
Yeah. There's. I mean, and then in this exhibition, it's so enticing. You want to touch it, but but then I love to talk to children about why they can't. Because I think often it's like, but it looks soft and like cuddly and like, why can't I touch it? And so you can talk to someone about why you shouldn't, like because your fingers are dirty, because there's oil on them, because you have a drink in your other hand, and if you spill it on this, you ruin it, and that someone's hard work went into that, So we talk about that, but we just talk. It also, I think, it plays such a huge role in economic development, cultural development. Like, having a gallery is enticing for having a contemporary art gallery like Westo-Who.
Yeah.
A lot of other cities have contemporary art spaces like this. It shows that a community appreciates the arts and was willing to support it. It's often an indicator that the needle is moving, like, in a positive direction. So although we're an arts organization and we're supporting the arts, I think we're also an economic driver, a cultural driver, a social driver. Yeah. It's also something to do. Like, you can come here with your friends on a Friday night when we have an opening reception and have cocktails and hors d'oeuvres with us. We don't charge you. You're coming in, you're enjoying the work, you're socializing with friends, and then you can go across the street to Craft and Vine, or grab a burger at Farmhouse, or down the street at
regular events here as well.
Yeah. Gotcha. So it's not just like a Monday through Friday come into the gallery. We've on first Fridays, almost every first Friday, we have an opening reception. We have events, free and open to the public. Yeah. Sometimes we do artist talks. Where the artist or a juror or a curator or somebody involved in the exhibition will talk about the work. That's the best way to hear about the work, because you're hearing firsthand. But all of that, like, I think that the gallery gets a lot of attention because it's year-round. But everything we do at the gallery ultimately supports the festival. Everything is meant, it either is a build-up to the festival or it's an educational tool that gets us to the festival. And it's what's helping to build an audience that supports Westo-Who Festival, because Westo-Who Festival is not bringing that things that appeal to everyone, right?
Bring like a Ferris wheel,
right?
Yeah.
Right. That should appeal to everyone.
That's why I go.
There's something for everybody.
Just kidding.
There is, but in a different way. Like, like, I love Arts in the Heart. Like, Arts in the Heart. Just someone said to me today, Arts in the Heart is like a bear hug around a family. Like, everybody in that family is gonna find something at Arts in the Heart that they love. Like, maybe the same thing doesn't happen at Westo-Who, but it's not a bad thing either. Like, Westo-Who Festival is introducing you to things that you're not that you haven't seen before. Like this year,
Right.
we're bringing in a beatbox saxophonist.
Well,
Like, who can say they've seen that? Oh, okay,
because
yes,
we're
please.
going to talk about Westo-Who.
Yeah.
But first, we do want to talk a little bit more about the stuff going on in Augusta.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to do a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about Westo-Who event and the rest of the events going on in Augusta.
The following is an ad for the Augusta Sports Council. The Augusta Sports Council is excited to announce the newest addition to the Ironman 70.3 Augusta, the I Am Local program. I Am Local is Augusta's way of welcoming over 3,500 athletes to our city and thanking the 1,600 plus volunteers for all that they do to make the Ironman 70.3 Augusta such a fun event. Local businesses have teamed up with Ironman and the Augusta Sports Council to offer discounts, special hours, and exclusive offers to those competing and volunteering at this year's Ironman. The Augusta Sports Council enriches the quality of life and economic well-being for the Augusta metropolitan area by supporting and attracting sporting activities since 1991. For more information, visit www.augustasportscouncil.org. For more information on the I Am Local program, visit www.augustasportscouncil.org/IM-local.
And we're back.
And we're back. Just like that.
Just like that. So, I didn't mean to cut you off
No,
there, but we do
totally
have a
get it.
little bit of a regularly scheduled program to stick to. So before we talk in detail about Westo-Who, I do want to talk about some of the stuff that's coming up just in general in the city, because
Yeah.
it seems like September, October is about to just be this crazy month full of stuff.
Yes.
So we've got this weekend, we've got Arts in the Heart.
It's
This
here,
coming
guys.
weekend,
It's here.
It's coming up. And then the weekend after that, we have the Augusta players that are doing the ragtime.
Yep.
And we have the Ironman,
Yep.
which Chris and I had a little bit of a story we wanted to talk about with the Ironman. So we didn't know this, but the Ironman is like this program that is nationally planned, and they bring it to Augusta, and they have, and I didn't know this, hundreds of athletes come to Augusta from all around the country.
Thousands, yeah.
Thousands. It's like 3,500 plus.
Well,
It's the largest half Ironman in the contiguous United States.
Yes, it really
Exactly.
is.
And apparently they might even be using this Ironman as a test to see how well they can do in other markets. So the fact that they're using Augusta as like a representation of what the nation
Right.
could look like I think that's awesome.
So, can I tell you why I enjoy...
This is a
the
story we had to get on.
Okay.
This is
So,
Chris's anecdote.
Last year, my wife and I went to Whiskey Bar. And forevermore, in the future, we will always go out to eat the night before the race. So we go out to eat the night before the race, and we watch everybody carb load.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see people with... You can see through their shirt that they're shredded, six-pack. These guys are just like, whatever. We were at Whiskey Bar last year. I do not lie to you. This guy had a plate of waffle fries, a plate of sweet potato fries, and 2 burgers. And he ate all of that. And so, anyways, anybody out there that would like that kind
You
of
gotta go
entertainment,
sightseeing.
you gotta go the day before, the night before, and just look around and look at all the carb-loading people that are so fit.
But that
It's
just
really
shows-
cool to be a spectator during
Yes.
Ironman. I don't think we do that enough. I mean, I think Augusta should be lined up to root these
Right.
people on.
Yeah,
we should
definitely.
be rooting them on for
There's
sure.
not a lot of things that are the biggest in Augusta in North America. I just
Right.
read to fact check us that our Ironman last year was the second biggest Ironman in North America after Chattanooga.
No,
okay,
No,
okay.
it was the largest.
Was
This
it?
year, Chattanooga holds it.
This year Chattanooga
Yeah,
holds it.
so we
Okay.
could
Even
break
better.
it. We could break it again this year, but
So let's
last year
go.
we were the largest in North America.
But it just goes to show that kind of stuff that's going on, the economic impact. And,
Yeah.
and you know, to Westo-Who, you know, I
Right.
think Westo-Who, things like that you guys are doing, it's going to have this huge economic impact that shows people not only is this an art situation,
Right.
but exactly like Deke Copenhaver said, you know, you have the arts, and the arts bring everything else because people want to see things
Right.
like what you're doing, things like Arts in the Heart.
Right.
And so now we're at Westo-Who, and
Sure.
and so the Ironman and Ragtime, that's the weekend of the 27th.
Yep.
Westobou is the next weekend. Is
That's
that right?
Yeah.
So everybody get ready.
Get ready.
Go ahead and start creating a sinking fund in your budget.
Yes, yeah. This past
Stop going
weekend,
out to eat.
Exactly. This past weekend with the Oktoberfest stuff at the
Yes.
brewery and the food truck festival,
Yes,
it
we
really
missed that.
We didn't even mention
launches.
the food truck festival.
Yeah.
Shout out.
It launches. It's like we launch like heavy into the fall season here. It means like every weekend. If I hear someone say that they can't find something to do,
Oh my god.
Lazy.
I will shake my finger. Right, like
Do you
tisk
have
tisk.
eyes?
Yeah.
Even if you had one, if you were blind, you would know that there's something going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on,
there's
but
You just need
Podcast.
ears for a podcast.
yeah.
Self-plug.
Yeah. So Westo-Who Festival starts. It actually starts on a Wednesday. We have a October 2nd with a big VIP launch party. So if you have the VIP pass, you can come to the party.
And how do people get that kind of thing? How do people get tickets and VIP passes?
Yeah, they can get it online on our website, westobou.org. Westobou is spelled not like some people would think it was spelled. So it's Westobou. That first O is really important. Some people change it out.
And we'll
out
put a
of
link in
letters.
the bio.
Can we
as
just
well.
do a timeout real quick?
Sure.
Where does that come from?
So Westo-Who was the name of the Savannah River. The Westo Indians, the Native Americans in this region were the Westos.
Gosh,
and
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm using that
is
somehow
awesome.
for the title.
Oh.
That is amazing.
That's so cool.
So it refers to the naming of the river.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so you guys are paying heritage to
Yeah.
hundreds of years of history.
Yes.
That's incredible.
When
Yeah.
did the name change? Do you know?
I don't. Well, I assume when the Savannah Indians minus the H, they spelled it without the last H.
I just learned two things
and
today.
and
I feel like we're gonna learn a lot more.
which I think Savannah means salt.
Three
Something
things.
anyway. So there was, I assume, a battle. I don't know that for sure, but I assume that's the story I tell.
That's a
Yeah.
good assumption.
That's a cool way to tell
The
it.
Westos were fur traders.
I'm gonna get another beer, but please
They also
stop.
have. There's some other history around the Westos that is arguable. I think some people. I've heard all sorts of different things. Deke has saved my life before when we've had callers on his radio show several years ago, would ask me some crazy questions that I could not answer because I'm not a historian. I just know some of the basics around
If we had
the name.
unlimited
But
time, I would be grilling you right
yeah. Please don't. So that's the history of the name. But it's like people are always like, why the crazy name? Why not call it something else? I'm like, Bonnaroo is one of the most popular festivals in the country. It's a Cajun word for good time. Did you just learn something else?
Yeah, I
now.
did.
Four
Yeah.
things,
I just
and
learned
I'm
something.
Cajun.
Yeah, it's
so
not
I
just
should've
like
known
a
that.
made up word. So
awesome.
yeah. So the
is
trustees
so
who
cool.
founded us came up with that name, and it obviously it's stuck. The organization is legally
Well,
named
it's
that.
genius.
So
I was always wondering what Westo-Who meant,
Right.
and now it literally means it's only from this area.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
just some company that came in,
right, created some crazy name.
invested in the city, and it is Westo-Who is the old name for Savannah River.
Exactly.
That's so
That's
cool.
where, when you're at Savannah River Brewing and they have the Westo-Who beer, that's what it's a river. It ties into their
That's really cool.
name
We're
really
gonna
well.
learn a double-digit amount of things I think, in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones. Our listeners are too, which is
Yeah.
Yes.
cool.
You're
You're
welcome.
making us look good.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
everybody.
Thank you,
Making
Kristi.
everyone smarter.
Oh man.
One podcast at a time.
Yes.
One podcast interview at a time. So this year's festival is going to be really cool. In
It's
the
the
past,
2nd through the 6th.
it's the 2nd through the 6th. The 2nd is the VIP party. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th are really the awesome days. It's
Okay.
really. Not that the first
Kinda
day is
like
not
the arts
awesome,
and the
but
heart of it, it's the festival side.
yeah, the
right?
festival side of
Okay.
it really opens up. So the way that we're a little different, some people sometimes expect us to be very much the same as Arts in the Heart, and we're not. Arts in the Heart celebrates individual makers with booths, and they're selling their products. Westobou's featuring talent, a little bit like what Arts in the Heart does through their stages and stuff, but we are bringing national talent that's coming from all over the country. Terry Galloway is a performance artist. She's coming from Florida. She's a deaf performer, and she's going to be performing on her experience receiving cochlear implants.
So when you say a performer, what does that? So to the average person, I don't think they have any idea of what you might mean.
Yeah, so it could be.
I'm thinking of Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Sure, we don't have any boy bands this year, but.
Do you need one?
You need a boy band duo? We'll make something happen.
A boyo.
A boy. So performer I think it's somebody who gets up on stage and provides entertainment.
Okay.
And sometimes that entertainment is, we talked about this a little bit before in the gallery, like it, there's emotion behind it, whether it's funny or sad or makes you feel uncomfortable. It's meant to be thought-provoking. It's part of our mission is thought-provoking, not to like scare anyone and make you think that you're all going to come to this festival and like be shocked. But you're not. I think it's all right. Nothing scary that I know of, unless a performer is going to scare me, but
nothing's been planned to be scary.
Right. So there's indoor stuff like the Terry Galloway thing, the She's the Deaf performer I was talking about. And we have two bands, Magic Giant and the Suffers. They're like the headliners. Magic Giant, I think some members of the band have been here before, but I don't think the band has been here before. And the Suffers are from Texas. We've tried to get them many times. Finally, we were able to secure them this year. But Magic Giant is, I would say, a little bit of a jam band, not like fully jam band, but there's
a place for that.
Yeah, for sure. There's some instrumentation, like some really crazy instrumentation, like they're turning a upright bass on its side and playing it like a standard bass. It's
stuff you have
they do.
To see.
Yeah, there's all kinds of instruments. There's so many crazy instruments, and their stage always looks really cool. And then the Suffers are from Texas. If you are familiar with the Alabama Shakes, they have a little bit of the Alabama Shakes feel. But both bands have been on all the major. Yes, exactly. Yes. Magic Giant and the Suffers have been on a lot of major lineups this year and in the past. So if those other like big national festivals are bringing them out, then surely they will be of interest here to Augustans. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and I think that's important to know that you guys have people that are doing these national festivals. Like this isn't something where like you went to the, well, I say phone book, but that's not real. But, you went to the metaphorical phone book. You went to the bottom of the page and you got the people.
Do you know what a phone book is, Dave?
Hey, I'm nobody does. That's why I can.
Hold on, I know what a phone book is.
I get it. It's alphabetical, but you didn't.
Do you know the difference between a yellow page and a white page?
No.
Oh man!
I know that I can Google white pages and it'll give me people's phone numbers, but that's all I know. But it's cool to know that you guys aren't just getting anybody that you can get. You're getting people that are doing similar things nationally.
They fit
you mentioned Bonnaroo
festival.
Yeah, and so we actually really doing an experience.
How we do all that, like, because I think a lot of people wonder how the heck we bring it all together.
Sure.
We have a programming committee, so it's people from all over our community who are really what we would consider the best of the best, Augusta-based, if they are filmmakers or musicians or dancers or they're administrators of dance or music, Karen Gordon, Karen Brown, Matt Porter from the Morris Museum, Scott Thorpe, who's the chair for the Department of Art and Design at AU, Melanie O'Mara, who's over theater AUG at the university. Like, all of these people are on our programming committee and help us find these things. They make these recommendations. So like Derek Brown, who's the beatbox saxophonist, Karen Gordon, who does Garden City Jazz and a ton of really great music events in town, suggested him.
So these are locally curated artists.
Yeah, they're not Augusta-based artists.
And I think that just
but
goes
it's curated by Augusta-based talent.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that just goes to show how much artistic
merit we have as a community.
In Augusta that not only do you bring in people, but
Karen Brown danced for the Dance Theater of Harlem. She was a principal ballerina for the Dance Theater of Harlem.
Shout out.
And her brother,
have to make sure
Russell
she
Joel
listens
Brown,
to it.
who's a part of
Yes,
Ragtime,
Russell Joel
was
our
on The
show
Lion
last
King. Yeah, exactly. So they're siblings.
Shout out to Russell Joel Brown.
Karen Gordon is an accomplished musician herself. Her brother is Wycliffe Gordon, who's
I
who's
know
an
that.
award-winning right. Yeah, exactly. So we have an incredible amount of talent right here, and how cool of them.
That's crazy. Russell never mentioned any of that, and we talked to him for like 45 minutes.
He is a very humble man.
Yeah.
He is.
He needs to be less
Well, and
humble.
he took his job probably of promoting Ragtime very seriously, and like
did.
kept
He
on
did.
it.
He
Where
did
I
just
keep,
that.
I'm like easily distracted.
I saw
but
Scott Seidel the other
Squirrel.
day. I saw Scott Seidel the other day
Yeah.
after we interviewed them, and he had thrown his back out because at the practice after we recorded with them, he was on stage performing with them to help everybody, and he was like throwing people in the air and doing all this crazy stuff. And he said he woke up and he reached for a spatula to cook, and he threw his back out reaching for the spatula.
oh my god!
I'm sure he's gonna love
So
that.
get better. So get better soon, Scott.
Sorry, Scott, man. Oh man.
Oh gosh. Let's see. This year we're also bringing G Nerd. He's a jukin dancer. He
What does that mean?
Yeah, so that is Karen Brown recommended him, the former
Okay.
principal dancer at Dance Theater of Harlem.
So that means a lot.
That means a lot. So he is like top 3 jukin dancers in the country.
Wow.
Jukin sort of made it.
Yeah, what is that?
So it's
When I think it's
'Cause I don't
like
know.
elements of pop and lock.
I'm thinking like football. I'm thinking,
No, I'm thinking
going
like
back and
breaking
like-
ankles.
Yeah, exactly.
Juking.
No, yeah.
I think you're probably both onto something. So
Nice,
think of
okay.
like so it started in Memphis. So think about Elvis, like, and how Elvis moved his hips and his knees.
Yeah.
We're not talking rockabilly though. Like this isn't like a rockabilly.
Tone down.
This
a
is
little bit.
urban dance. Smooth elements, pop and lock. We're putting it
Gotcha.
with some classical
Stuff
music.
I could never do.
Yeah, definitely I could never do. But we're putting him with a local symphony musician, Arthur Ross, who plays the viola. So he'll play the viola and G Nerd will dance.
That's cool.
I'm so excited for it because usually you see jukin dancers dancing to, DJ, urban, rap.
Yeah.
You
I'm
see
thinking
that
beats,
sort of
I'm
stuff.
thinking-
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. But there have been some similar projects with Yo-Yo Ma and some other jukin dancers. So we think this is going to be really cool. It's going to happen in the space in the back. It's sort of an after party.
Okay.
So after the Suffers, you could come back and see G Nerd in the warehouse space. But we're bringing Poetry Fox back this year. He was super popular last year. He is a man dressed as a fox with an antique typewriter, vintage
Interesting.
typewriter. You give him a word and he like bangs out a poem based on your
Whoa.
word.
I would love to see
And
that.
he's like
right?
in a costume. And then
Yeah.
he
I'm
like
sure people have fun with that.
oh yeah. Then he pops up his helmet and he reads it to you and then he stamps it with his name but we're actually bringing him for a meal series. Westo-Who does venture into the world of food because we pair chefs with artists to prepare and present a unique meal in a unique setting. So last year we did one on the baseball field on second base at SRP Park. And we did them in several other places.
Wow.
But this year we're doing one at the soon-to-be Security Federal Bank, which is really close by to here. It's going to undergo a historic tax credit renovation, and so we wanted people to come in and experience it as a bank in its like 1970s feel before it goes back to its
Like
like
the Clint Eastwood
1920s feel. Right, a little bit. Yeah. That bank is down the street, actually.
Yeah, we actually, my family and I knocked on the door
Oh, okay.
while they were filming, but they had just finished filming, so we missed him, I guess.
darn.
But we tried.
Well, I saw him sort of. That's about as
All
much
right,
as I've got.
story topper.
I know. I'm not a story topper.
So just a general overview. When people come to Westo-Who,
Yep.
the first thing is, so it's the 3rd to the 5th.
Yep.
As far as the open to public events, non-VIP stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of times can people show up?
So things really, the gallery opens at 10.
And that's here at Westo-Who Gallery.
At Westo-Who Gallery opens at 10. But events don't really get started until lunchtime. So there's lunchtime events.
Okay.
We have it. The whole schedule is designated for morning, lunchtime, early afternoon, happy hour,
evening,
early evening,
evening,
like sort of prime time, 8 o'clock, and then there's the after parties or late night stuff.
I see some stickers behind you on your planning chart with 10 p.m. stuff. So does it go to 10 p.m.? Does it go later? 10
p.m. to midnight are the after parties.
So it's a 12-hour a day event.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can, and nothing overlaps. In the past, events have overlapped, but this year nothing overlaps. So you can go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing and not worry about missing something.
Okay, so it's not like a music festival where you have to choose whether you want to see like the Killers or Panic at the Disco or whatever. Okay,
yeah, you don't have to worry about any of that. And some of it, you may not, the events earlier in the day are designed for retirees, people who have some time to take lunch and have something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I work downtown, so I'll retire for a couple days.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. come down to the gallery for lunch, eat lunch with us. Exactly. Come down for happy hour, like scoot out of work a little early.
I will.
But so you can get a festival and get a festival pass and come to everything. There's two different levels.
I was about to say, how much is it?
So the general admission one is $30, and you can go to any of the ticketed events.
And that includes the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So it's like arts and the. I hate to keep saying that, but it's like that, and that it covers all of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then if you got a VIP pass, which is $125, you get an invitation to that VIP party on October 2nd, and that's like open bar, heavy hors d'oeuvres, like
so you can get
personally I think one of the best parties.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But then the perks continue with that pass, so you get into all the events that you do with the general admission pass, but you also get free drinks at any of the outdoor events.
Wow.
So when you come to see the Suffers or Magic Giant, which are free concerts.
So if you have the $125 and it makes sense for you to spend it, you're definitely going to get your money's worth.
Oh, for sure. Sure. Yeah.
You're getting like it.
We have some designated parking areas. If you got it earlier, you got first dibs on meal series tickets, those things with the chef.
I see, and I was going to ask, but I wasn't sure. The Poetry Fox, I was going to say, how great would it be if it's at Fox's Lair?
Oh, and it is
at Fox's Lair. Because I didn't want to give you a good idea if you didn't think of it, but you already thought of it.
But here we are.
And that's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. That's a great venue.
They already have all of the appropriate decor and the appropriate name to make that work. Yeah. And Jordan Tejeda, the chef on that, is he's the chef out at Ironwood Tavern in Evans.
Heard.
Yep.
And so he's got a really awesome meal lined up. Several courses. It's going to be really good. Yeah, awesome. It's going to be cool.
So is there anything else you want to shout out about it? Because we're about to move on.
Yeah. So I would just say come to the outdoor event. If you've never experienced Westobou, come to the outdoor events. They're free. You're not losing any money.
Ooh.
Come experience it. There's going to be a ton. We haven't even talked about all of the temporary public art projects and mobile artist studios, murals, all sorts of stuff going up. Westobou.org.
Westobou.org.
Yep.
Find out about everything that's going on.
And you can buy the tickets through that site.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
Heard.
Awesome.
All right.
Is heard the word today?
I used to work at a restaurant, so it used to be at Chick-fil-A, it used to be like they would shout back an order and you would shout back heard.
Oh, okay.
And if you didn't, then you would get...
Has she ordered anything?
Well, she's telling us things.
I should say word. Word.
We are from millennials. Word.
I hate to say this, but we do need to take a quick break.
No, we need to take a quick break. I am, by the way, I got this new beer, and it's the Lazy Paddler, and I have not had this ever before, and I really like it.
Really?
And
that's good.
It's like flavored. It's like I did not expect to like it.
That's cool because
but I really like it.
I just finished my second beer.
So you have to get another one.
Well, I think I'm good. But I had the 3 Under Par. It's a Belgian style triple ale.
Can I finish that?
Yeah.
Here,
it's actually very good. It's very good. It's very sweet.
I'm trying to smell it. It's not working. It's
You
not
need to
what I
get
want.
your second.
I still need to finish my Scenic Overlook Future Strawberry Blonde Ale convertible makeout session beer.
I told you I'd finish it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can take a nice
I
little
should finish
swig.
this.
Well, yeah, sure, yeah. Audrey. I like mine better. I like yours, but I like mine better.
Lazy paddle is good.
Yeah, you're
Very
right.
good.
All right, so
Quick break. We'll be right back.
Quick thank you to our audio sponsor today, Amplified Events. Amplified Events has been raising the bar in entertainment in the CSRA since 2014. Not only do they provide DJ and MC services, but they also do professional lighting, photo booths, karaoke, game show hosting, and just about anything that your next event needs. Check them out for your next event, be it a wedding, corporate function, or private event, because they will definitely amp up any occasion. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Amplified Events AUG, by phone at 706-810-0267, and online at ampyourevent.com. That's ampyourevent.com.
And we're back. So, Kristi, we always like to ask a question at the
Okay.
end of every episode.
Hot seat.
Yes. And
that's like the Nelly song?
Hot seat.
yes, that is,
I think he doesn't say seat.
He doesn't, but this is the family version.
Oh, okay.
right, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
exactly.
Maybe you
This
are
is
young and you
all
only know
ages.
the like radio
the Kids
edit.
Bop. The Kids Bop wasn't that.
That's exactly what that is. It's the Kids Bop
Anyways,
version.
yeah. But no, the question that we always ask is, we are drop disgusting. We drop the disc.
Hashtag.
Yep, on this show all the time. And we always like to ask our guests this question. It's, what does dropping the disc from Disgusta,
Right.
dropping the disc from Augusta, mean to you?
It means so much. I thought I was gonna like know what I would say for a second, and then it felt like a little emotional.
Well, it is very
that's what we
emotional.
want.
It's
It's emotional for me because it is tied into every facet of my life here. It is the success of the organization that I lead. It is the success of the neighborhood I live in. It has everything to do with the life I get to live here. If we can all take pride in where we live and be a part of building it. And so I think dropping the disc is a challenge to those who use it to get involved, to learn why all of us, all of your listeners there's probably not many people who are still using Disgusta listening to this. I mean,
It
it's
better not be.
right, exactly.
We will find you.
You know, how do we, the listeners and the leaders of our community, how do we continue to challenge that? And what can we do to challenge that by offering really great programming at Westo-Who that helps build pride in place? How can we be active in our neighborhoods? How can we be active in our community? And if you can't be active in the same ways like that I am, you know, like serving on the board of my neighborhood association or serving on the board of downtown advisory panel and some of those things, like
Self-plug?
attend. Yes, I guess self-plug. I'm just saying,
okay.
like,
That's
if
okay.
you can't be involved
You do
in that
you.
way,
That's what we're here for.
attend things, be a part of it. Like, you can't sit on the sidelines. Like, no one who wants disc to be dropped from Disgusta can sit on the sidelines. There was that poster that just came out over the weekend.
I loved it. I was just thinking about it. Was Amy. I can't think of her name. I'll think of it and then we'll put it in there.
We'll make him sound smart.
Yeah.
She did the walk sign is on Cross Broad Street,
Yeah,
which, did you know, was a contractor on that project. To learn something else new, they recorded the voice of one of the construction workers because
That's
nobody else
awesome.
wanted to do it.
I think I'm counting in that 7 things I've learned
That's
in
amazing.
this hour.
But she said maybe Augusta
You know
thinks
what?
you're disgusting.
Yes, I
But-
loved it.
But I appreciate it, but I'm not like that kind of like. I appreciate the sentiment behind it,
Yeah.
and I totally support her in what she's doing because she's part of the movement. Like, she's part of what Crew Who did with their shirt, what y'all are doing, what she's doing, what plenty of other people are doing. It's like they're not going to sit on the sidelines.
It was Amy Callan Creative. That's her handle
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yes.
Shout out.
And she did Maybe Augusta thinks you're disgusting too. Oh, it was perfect. I went ahead and
Chris has it on his phone ready to go.
Yeah.
no,
yeah.
it was on our story. I went ahead and shouted her out. I mean, that was great. That was perfect.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think that they're disgusting. I just think that they've chose to go along with something and not be involved. You know, they're
Right.
like, are you, the people that use that, like, are you participating though? Like, but are you participating?
Yeah,
Because if you're participating, then you see what the rest of us see. If you are a part of it, if you're giving of your time, you don't have to give of your money. Like Westo-Who is free. Like so many pieces of it are free. You know, you can participate in that way. You can participate in the discussion, in the conversation.
First Friday.
Yeah, First Fridays. Like you don't have to, like when lots of communities have things that are bad happen to them, you know, like communities have crime, you know, no community is perfect.
Look at the cities people love, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Athens.
Yeah. Sure.
Speaks for itself.
There are plenty of things, and I think when we jump on the one thing, you know, I just think it's silly when we could drop or jump on 1,000 positive things, 2,000 positive things that are happening. So, I mean, for me, it's to drop it is my livelihood, but I wouldn't be telling the truth if I didn't say that when I moved here, I sort of thought. I didn't have diminishing feelings about the community, but all I could see was potential because I came from a community that was exactly like this when I moved there. It was just like this. And in the time I was there, it was transformed. And now when I go back to Savannah, it's even different. Like, but I don't think we should be Savannah. I don't think we should be Greenville. I don't think we should be Atlanta. I don't think we should be Columbia or Chattanooga or Columbus. I think we should be Augusta.
Heck yeah.
We have to be authentic to who we are. And if we're not authentic, then we are letting everyone down. We are the community that brought the world James Brown. We are the community that brought the Southeast, the canal. We are the community that is keeping our cyber networks and whatever that crap is that I don't understand.
We just say Cyber City.
Yeah.
Cyber City.
So, you know, we are the community that is forging new treatments for cancer and disease. And we are an innovative, forward-thinking, like culturally savvy community. We need to take advantage of that and be authentic and be exactly who we are in the most positive way. And then we will be successful. And that's where we're at because we're embracing all of those things. And so as long as we continue to embrace those things, we're going to be great. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was like, am I staying here or am I going?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then before you knew it, I bought a house. I live in Old Town. You know, it's like, I'm
Shout
here.
out for that.
Yeah. I couldn't let it go. And now I totally enjoy the 500 renovation projects I have going on and, you know, meeting my neighbors and helping them do projects. I mean, it's been the coolest community experience that I've had. So, and then I get this artistic community too. So, and it's all because I chose to be involved. Not just because I have this job, but because I chose to be involved.
It's so easy
So,
to get involved.
so,
Yeah.
so be yourself, get involved, join the community,
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do it.
and drop the diss.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right?
Obviously. Drop the disc.
Drop
Thank you so
the
much.
disc.
Thank you so
Kristi,
much for
yeah.
being
Thank you
on
guys
today.
so much.
This is fun.
We are
Good.
looking forward to Westo-Who,
Yes, we are.
and we're looking
So
forward
am
to
I.
many First Fridays here.
Yes.
With free cocktails for
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
who comes and checks out the art.
And yummy charcuterie if you don't drink booze.
And charcuterie, which is about equal at least.
Yes, absolutely.
it.